what is the ingredient or the chemical which makes a concealer that color, which makes the makeup base that color? So what is that?
Oh my God. So, okay, that's not an ingredient. That's called color theory.
Ah.
Okay, so as an artist, you need to understand what your color theory is. So, what are the three primary colors? Red, yellow, blue. You mix red, yellow, blue, you get any color in the world. But if you do equal proportions of red, yellow, blue, you get brown,
Ah.
right? It's the perfect brown. If you do equal 1:1:1 of
So
all three
interesting.
colors. Now, to that color, you add your undertones. So you add a little bit of pink, you add a little bit of orange, you add a little bit of white, you add a little bit of black, you add a little bit of all the tones of colors that you need to make your concealers and foundations.
And the correctors as well.
Yes.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
To make it opaque, they add the titanium dioxide,
Yes,
right?
they do.
Now, that is what is the SPF. When you look at a makeup and see 15 SPF or a 20 SPF, it's not because they've gone and done some innovative thing.
No.
Every makeup is an SPF.
Yes.
Because if it doesn't have these titanium dioxides in it, it does not become opaque at all.
A lot of people don't realize, like when we are doing makeup for them, they'll be like, "Oh, you know what? Please put please put sunscreen. Please put sunscreen." And I'm like, "Listen, your makeup already has layers on your face, which you have different. Okay, so your concealer has sunscreen, your foundation has sunscreen, your powder has sunscreen, everything has sunscreen. So I said, just imagine the
One plus one
buildup of
plus one.
sunscreen you already have on your skin. I said, so you don't really need to put it, and also till I think a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, there wasn't a sunscreen that you could use under makeup without getting that white cast.
Correct. Now
Right?
things have been better.
Now there are so many brands available that do oil-free, gel, serum-based, so many different kinds of sunscreens available in cream form, spray form, gel form. Like it's never ending. So today, if you are someone who doesn't like to use too much makeup, go for a sunscreen underneath. But what I love to do is I actually mix my foundation in my sunscreen and I apply it as a BB cream.
Yeah.
It is the best thing to apply on your skin. So I learned from you. Do my skincare regime really, really, like I'm very particular about it because I don't have makeup on. I only have concealer and concealer. I don't wear foundation.
Been beautiful all your
Because
life.
I just want, for me, your skin is your canvas. So it's of the utmost importance to use products, makeup products with the right ingredients meant for your skin type. So when they say you have oily skin, please use an oil-free foundation, there's a reason why they're saying that. Is because there are certain ingredients in it which will interact and negate with your skin, and it will make it either too oily or you will land up breaking out because it's activating those oil pores on your skin and you just land up looking like a mess and you can't maintain it. And we live in a country where there is too much humidity, too much heat. So you need to, more than makeup, it's your skincare underneath that will make your makeup stay.
So if you have an oily skin person who comes to you for makeup, would you tell them don't apply any moisturizer, just apply makeup?
No way.
Thank you.
Your skin prep is the most important aspect before makeup. So I always tell my clients, don't do a 7-step routine or a 10-step routine. You don't need to. You just need to figure out what your skin type is and get the correct moisturizer for your skin type.
Right.
So you can get, if you have oily skin, I always recommend use water-based or gel-based moisturizers because you do tend to sweat a lot if you have oily skin most of the time.
Yeah.
So when you start using a super heavy moisturizer because you want your skin to look dewy and soft, great. But A, your makeup's not going to last on your skin, and B, you're going to perspire and sweat it all off. So you're going to start looking patchy in some time. So use the correct skincare. So I always say a good eye cream, a good moisturizer, and nowadays all moisturizers I'm sure have sunscreen.
Yeah.
So I don't, if I'm wearing makeup, I don't use a sunscreen separately. But if I'm not wearing makeup, then I will of course use a sunscreen every single day. But so that is, and a lip balm. That's all you need. Now, if you have specific problems on your skin, right? So that means if you have pigmentation or you have rosacea, makeup doesn't always cover it up. So you need certain correctors in your skin prep. So you can use a moisturizer which has a little bit of a mint green color to it, which will take away the redness of your skin.
Are CC creams the same?
Yes, they are.
They
But
are.
they don't have those colors. You have to use a specific moisturizer which has that color tone to it. So you get skin preps, you get which are soft lilac, a lovely soft mint green. They're not too much color. You can't see the green or the purple on your skin.
But they cut the
It
red.
just cuts the redness. It just cuts the yellowness on your skin. And it allows the makeup, you put less and you don't make it look cakey, because when you're trying to cover up issues and you don't color correct, you'll end up caking up the skin because you're trying to fix that.
So what I see in a lot of youngsters also is specific skin issues. For example, on a brown skin, it can get very patchy, and people think they can end up using a 10-step Korean skincare and then it'll go. And I keep telling,
I wish.
I know. So I keep telling them, no, there is ethnicity there. There is a lot of other things. There's a particular skin color, but on a brown color with us, you will see a difference in tone. However, there are a lot of medical treatments that we end up doing, right? Creams we end up doing. Sometimes you need some corrections of your nutrition, hormones, all that we do. But at the end of it, when you have something which is as stubborn as that, an ethnic skin as well as a hereditary sometimes, you know, it's in the
Dark
family.
circles,
Some of them have dark circle,
Pigmentation.
perioral pigmentation, which is around the mouth, which you can't take away no matter what skincare or what treatment you do. Sometimes through the skincare also, they are a little apprehensive, right? Today's day, when everybody is on a selfie, they're always stressed about it. So what is this one tip if I'm not a makeup artist and if I don't have 3 things that I can use? What can I do to gently cover up and even tone my skin?
Color correction. That is very, very important, especially if you are a deep or dark skin tone, or like a wheatish deep or dark skin tone. You will have, like you said, pigmentation, rosacea, darker lips, dark circles. It's part and parcel of living in our country. There's so much sun. So what you need to first of all do is understand what your undertone is. Everybody has a different undertone. You can be warm, cool, or neutral. If you're a warm undertone, you have a lot of yellow, olive in your skin.
Am I
What do you think you are?
yellow undertone?
You're neutral, actually. You have a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow. If you're a cool undertone, you have a lot more redness in your skin, a lot more blue, purplish undertones to your skin. And if you're neutral, you have a mix of both. There are some really interesting ways of figuring out what your undertone is. You can check the veins under your wrist. A lot of people have only green veins, and that makes you warm. If you have a combination of bluish purple and green veins, that makes you neutral. And sometimes it's really funny. That's what I'm saying. Like, people get really confused. So you can have green veins on your wrist, but you can have purple veins under your eyes. So that means it's not really dark circles. It's just that your veins are very strong there, which lands up looking like pigmentation or discoloration. So when you are a cool tone, you need to use colors which have pinks and reds in them to counteract and cut the pigmentation and discoloration. If you're olive skin toned or warm, that means you have a lot of yellow and greens in your skin. You need to use a little bit of peach and yellow to counteract that pigmentation and discoloration. And the beauty is, you get them in so many different formulations today. You get them as a CC cream. You get them as a serum. You get them as a concealer stick. You get them as a color corrector stick. You get them in liquid formulation, cream formulation, you name it and you get it. It's crazy. So you need to figure out what your skin type is. And accordingly, so if I have a spot here, which is so annoying, it just doesn't go. Even if I put a concealer. Now, I need to put a little bit of a color corrector. So a peach color corrector, because I'm neutral. If you see my color, I've got a lot of redness, but I also have a lot of green under my skin. So I need to put like a peach color corrector. So what I like to do is I mix my color corrector with my concealer or foundation, depending on how much coverage I want on my skin.
Which is your favorite peach color corrector?
Oh my God. I love Bobbi Brown. They have some really good ones. Then Huda Beauty has a couple of nice ones. She's come up with a nice liquid color corrector, which is great. Bobbi Brown has a lovely cream color corrector. It gives you 100% coverage, which is great. Then you have Clinique. I mean, every brand today is doing it. Earlier, there were barely any brands. I think it used to literally be only Bobbi Brown that did a color corrector, because she understood the science, because she's a makeup artist. She understood the science behind You can't just layer the skin with a foundation color and
That's what
expect it to
happens.
not go gray or expect it to not look cakey.
White cakey. And in
Exactly.
fact, it highlights even more.
Exactly. So she came up with these amazing color correctors, which are still some of my favorite ones. And so I always have, because I'm an artist, I have 3 to 4 different colors. I have a light peach, I have a peach, I have a dark peach, I have a bisque. So a peach is orangey yellow. Okay. And a bisque is pinkish red.
Wow.
So the darker you go, so when I'm cool toned, I will use anything which is pinkish red.
Okay.
When I'm warm toned, I will use anything that's orangey and yellow. And if I'm a neutral, I can use either or mix them up and create a color that's my own. One of the best ways of doing it is just get a brick red and a lovely light orange, and you can mix it and create your own color corrector meant for your skin type.
Oh my God. Okay. That's
Exactly.
a
That's a lot.
complex.
So that's what I'm saying. So just
Yeah.
go to a brand that understands color correction. Like go
And
to
get
a
the
brand
color
like a Bobbi Brown or a MAC, or even Givenchy does some beautiful color correctors. Chanel does some beautiful color correctors, and they've made it very simple. They have a pink, like a light pink, a medium peach, and a dark color. So between these 3 colors, you have
Something
to just
will-
something
set.
will work for you. Now, if you have dark spots and pigmentation, you need to. What I like to do is I just apply my skincare and I take a little bit, warm it up on my fingers and my hands or a palette, and I just pat it and dab it on the areas where I have discoloration. That instantly will
Help
even
you.
it out, and then I go in with my foundation and concealer. Sometimes I don't even put a concealer. I just go in directly with foundation, because if your color correction is done well, you don't need a concealer.
Yeah. So the same thing that goes under the eye, can I put in the corner of the mouth?
Yes, concealer. You
Same
can
thing.
put
Same color
under
corrector here.
yes, the
Same
exact
color corrector here.
exactly. Yes.
Because these are the 2 places which are
Yes.
usually
I think a
burning
lot of
point.
people have it on their eyelids.
Yeah.
They have it here.
Yeah.
More in the inner corner than the outer
Outer
corner.
corner.
Some people do have massive discoloration here too.
Yeah.
Then here,